Today I'm going to talk about Sitecore Content Hub and its features. Let me walk you through a couple of screens where you will get good understanding over the Sitecore Content Hub, and then further we will jump into the Sitecore Content Hub portal where we will learn about the Content Hub features and use cases. Sitecore Content Hub is the hub where all digital assets are stored. It supports entire content lifecycle for planning, authoring, and collaboration. It is an all-encompassing system that helps marketing team to store, manage, curate, plan, deliver, monitor, and measure the content. It provides 360-degree view of all contents and has a collaborative features. Sitecore Content Hub delivers structure and workflows which are essential in delivering marketing and content strategies. It allows the content creators to give a feedback on a content, streamline process through workflow planning strategy, and facilitate collaboration. It has integrated several Azure functionalities such as Azure Computer Vision, Azure CDN, etc. Features of Sitecore Content Hub. It gives a extremely user-friendly UI. I'll give you the deep dive on these user interfaces so that you will get to know what kind of user interface it has. Taxonomy is all about to organize the digital assets by assigning specific category, multiple categories. Setting up the taxonomy is the most crucial part of Sitecore Content Hub that we are going to discuss in detail. Artificial intelligence, it utilizes Microsoft Azure's computer vision service, wherein auto tagging will come into picture to enhance the overall searching experience. Feature friendly, it is easy to add more features whenever the content authors need them. More secure service, content authors have the option to restrict the access or give the partial access to the asset portal. Restriction can be based on any taxonomy or metadata values associated with the each assets. Since it's SaaS-based offering, the Content Hub is hosted on a Microsoft Azure. In background, Content Hub is using Azure Blob Storage for storing the assets. Integration with the experience. Earlier, it was known it as Style Lab. Now, once after acquiring the Style Labs, it got renamed to the Sitecore Content Hub. It has 5 main components: digital asset management, marketing resource management, content marketing platform, marketing content management, and web to print. Today, our focus would be on digital asset management, where we are going to look into the strength of digital asset management and what is Sitecore digital asset management. It helps to simplify the storage management, distribution, control of digital assets. It provides capability to manage all the digital assets file types, reduces the time to tag, locate, use, and share assets, has machine learning enabled to help with the tagging of the content. It gives the flexibility to add metadata and tagging and then browse collections or filter searches using these criteria. It gives the ability to preview the images, videos, layouts, and other file types in a context with the search facets. Searching by thumbnails, the ability to define collections of assets and expose them as a search facets, reduce the risk of any vulnerabilities by introducing DRM capability, has an advanced search facility branded as an advanced query builder. Topics to be covered in the session. I'm going to cover these many topics and features in today's sessions, but not limited to. Let me quickly go to the Sitecore Content Hub portal where we can see all the use cases and the Sitecore Content Hub features. Let me go to the home page. This is the home page you will always see once you log into the Sitecore Content Hub portal. Then further your journey will get started into the create page, where all the assets will get uploaded in the first place, where we can do some cosmetic changes or beautification of the assets, then we will put to the next workflow, that is a review workflow. To upload the content, we have two ways. One is either you can just upload the asset using REST APIs, or directly you can just interact with the Sitecore Content Hub UI, and then you can do the bulk uploads. I am sticking to the second approach at this moment to just upload the bulk medias from my device. I'm going to choose these mini medias. As I explained earlier, Sitecore supports lot many file types. Okay, currently I am choosing images, Word file, and zip file. Let me browse these all five media items and just quickly upload it. Once I upload these assets, behind the scene lot many background processes will get appended, and those will get executed without any manual interventions. Okay, once once the assets are uploaded, you will see all the assets which are present into the create. It means that all the assets are in a draft version. If you navigate to the asset, you don't see any assets listed in the assets. This is the place where all the finalized version of the assets will get listed. So currently we are in a create page. Once I submit it for final review, here you will see one option. Beside the table icon, you will see one submit. I have selected all the assets which are presented into the create page. Let me submit it for review. Once I submit these assets, all the assets will go to the review workflow. Currently, I am a super user. I'm an admin, so I can see all the workflows here itself. So if you see here in a review tab, you have as a reviewer, I have a 4 assets to review and just submit it for a final process. Let me select all the assets which are present here, and here top right you can see one right click icon where you can click it and approve it. It will ask for confirmation. Once you click on that, all the asset will get published, and let me navigate to the asset to see all the assets which are in a final state. As you see, Sitecore has, as I mentioned earlier, while going through the slides, as I mentioned, it has an advanced feature where we can just deal with the advanced facets and get the content searched properly. As you see, whatever file types I have just uploaded, it has mainly three file types. One is image, other one is Word document, and third one is zip. I think zip document is not, yes, it's there, but I have treated as a .txt basically, right? So there are two documents present at this moment. So those two documents are listed into the documents. Okay, the documents facet will get applied, and only documents content will get filter out here. Okay, this is the beauty of Content Hub, where it has a very good, strong, I would say, the feature out of the box that will help us to just enable the configuration which is available out of the box, along with some little bit customization. Once these assets are in final state, I can then just deal with the collections where I wanted to just put the images inside particular collections. Let me choose the images so that I can create one collection. Here, as you see, you have lot many options. By using that, you can just create collection and share it via email. If you want to create a public links, you can create your own public links so that external user can view those assets and download based on their public accesses. Let me go with the add to collection options. Currently, we don't have any collections, so let me name it as a public collection. Save it. Yeah, so now whatever images I have selected from the assets page, those are added into the new collection, that is public collections. We want to go and see the collections, just directly you can go to these options, that is collections. From there you can see one collection is available. Now I wanted to share this collection with the external users. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll click on a share link, then further I'll choose one option, create external link. Okay, once I enable this create external link, then it will be enabled to view it externally. Basically, to access this collection, you no need to just logging with your own credentials. Let me copy this link and check whether it's working outside of our session or not. It's working. As you see, what I did is I created my own collections and I shared with external users where they no need to log in with their own credentials. Even I mark it as a public collections where all the user can deal with this. And as you see, the whatever items I have added inside the collection, those are downloadable. Okay, if I mark it as the original one, original rendition will get downloaded quickly. Okay, if you want to restrict them to just read that asset which are present inside the collection, then it's doable. You need to just specify the assets access to that particular connection and just restrict the users to not to download it. Only the assets can be readable. Once, yeah, this is all about the assets and collections. Now let me go back to the assets. Yeah, so once I click on a particular asset, you will see the asset will get open into the asset detail page. Okay, the important use case is I wanted to add some custom fields around it. As you see, whatever fields. So simply what I did is I just uploaded asset which were present inside the file directory, right? Once I did that, all the renditions, as you see, left side section, whatever renditions Content Hub has created, those are out of the box. If you want to limit them, yes, you can do that. You need to just change the configuration and the only particular rendition will get listed here. As you see, renditions can be downloadable. If you want to deal with only original assets, what we uploaded, then just you can enable that option when you just retrieve the particular asset from the API. As you see, metadata is also part of renditions where all the metadata properties will get listed and those would be in a JSON format. PDF is also part of the renditions and that can be downloadable. Okay, let me just walk you through one use case, that is, so whatever properties you see at this moment, those are out of the box property, but my intention is to put one more property here. Okay, so along with the product name, I wanted to add one more property and save some information. So let's do it. Let me go to the manage page. Let me leave the changes for now. Manage is the page where admin users can deal with their existing options, for example, actions, aggregate, API keys, cache, and all. So where admin users can just do the configuration and customization. So to just add one particular metadata property, I am going to deal with the schema. Let me navigate to the schema. Schema is the place where we can just modify the existing pages or existing sections by adding your own stuff. Let me go to the m.assets. As you see earlier, we see the asset detail page where all these sections were listed. Now I would like to add one more property inside the overview section. For that, I'll go and just click on a new member. I'll go with the property that is single line property. So I'm going to choose first option, that is mainly used for a create property of a certain data type. So I'm going to use string as a data type. I'm going to put one title as a demo title. Let me copy it and place it for label. I'm done with one property, that is demo title I have recently added. I'm going to commit the changes. There is one apply changes button where I'm going to click on. Once I apply the changes, those changes are available for all the assets which are present inside the assets page. Let me go to the asset page and see whether that property is getting displayed or not. Let me click on edit. As you see, like whatever properties I have added into the schema, that property is getting displayed here. Let me put any dummy content and save it. If you refresh this asset, you will see that dummy content property is getting displayed on the screen. In this way, based on your business requirement, you can add n number of properties. And as you see, like I have deal with only single content type, that is string. If you want to go ahead with the taxonomy option list, yes, it's still doable. I'm going to just tell you one use case around the taxonomy where how to use it. This use case is a little bit complex, but yes, we have to understand it. So I'll walk you through step by step and we can understand. Before doing this, I wanted to walk you through a couple of use cases. Let me go to the manage page from where all the options can be accessible. As I said earlier, if you are super user or admin user, then only access this panel. Okay, so I'm going to talk about scripts, how to create our own scripts, meaning there are some action events mentioned by default in the Content Hub. Let me give a name as a demo script. An action type is user sign in. As you see, there are multiple action types available. One is metadata processing, other is shared, user post registration, user pre-registration, and user sign in. I'm going to choose user sign in, meaning once user logged into the Content Hub, I want that script to be triggered. Let's do it. Let me save this as a script. Let me go to my demo script. Let me edit it. Yeah, once you edit the particular console, you will see the script editor window where we can put our script. So I'm going to add one simple code line where just I wanted to make sure the script is executed properly. I have added yumclient.logger.debug and just added message script executed. Just I wanted to make sure whether the script is getting executed or not. Let me save the changes and let me build the scripts. When you click on a build script, behind the scene, Content Hub will test whether a script is right or wrong. If there are any syntax errors or something like that, and the error will get popped out here in the red window. Now I'm good with this. There is no build error. Let me publish it quickly. Meaning once I click on a publish, this script is readily available to use. Okay, so let me go to the scripts and just enable it. Sorry, let me go back there. As you see, beside the script, there is one enable control where we can just enable it and just make sure like script is running. And whenever users logged into the system, then automatically this script will get triggered. What is the purpose of these scripts? When you want to just send the email notification to the particular user, and says that you have logged into the systems and you can avail these many features available within the Content Hub system. This is all about the demo script. So this script is won't work at this moment. As you know, like I have marked that script as action as a user signed in. This will get executed only when I logged out from the system and logged into the system. Okay. Later, once I have covered all the use cases, I'll show you this particular changes, whether those are applied in proper way and the script is getting executed in proper way. Yeah. So beside this overview tab, as you see, there are two more tabs, auditing and reporting. What does it mean? So when I go to the auditing, here you can see at this moment there is no audit log is present. What does it mean? So whatever script I have wrote there as part of my sign in user sign in action, right? Those details will get listed there basically. When the action it got triggered, what is the message, and all these details would be available inside it. Yeah, this is all about the script. Let me go back to the sc- let me go back to the taxonomy where I'm going to cover one use case. Just my intention is to just create the taxonomy and just make the association with the search so that search will work perfectly fine. And whatever taxonomy field I am going to put on the page, that will get displayed properly to the end user. So my intention is to put the as one taxonomy field, and that will get listed here, left side section. And so that whenever user wants to just make the selection for the particular taxonomy item or value, then that search will get applied to the particular value on the all the result associated with that particular taxonomy value. Those will be listed on the right. Let's do it. So as I said, like this is a bit a complex scenario. Okay, just yeah. So I'll walk you through step by step where you can understand all the steps. To do this, first I need to navigate to the manage page. As I said earlier, manage page is the place where all the configurations and customization can be done. So first place I wanted to visit is like taxonomy. Let me search for a taxonomy. Let me create one taxonomy field saying like logical unit. I'll say I'll add a logical underscore. Once I create the logical unit, I'll add sub values by creating the create new button.
You're sitting there.
Let me put as a div. Let me save this. Let me add a few more properties. Second is UAT. I'll mark label it as a UAT. And third is SAT. Yeah, so far I have created three values. Let me explain you the use case where I can use this taxonomy value. So Sitecore recommends to go with only two subscription. One is for non-production and other is for a production. But to fit our fit our deployment strategy, we want the number of non-production environments, right? So as I said, Sitecore recommends to go ahead with only two, but our requirement is to create just deploy and just access the properties which are associated to the particular non-production environment. So my intention is to create n number of environment by giving the label it as a dev for a dev environment, SAT for SAT environment, and UAT for user acceptance testing. That is again we will call it as a UAT environment, right? So far I have created three environments. So ultimate my aim is to just combine all these filters somewhere into the search advanced filter, so that whenever user wants to just see the items which are associated with the particular taxonomy item value would be kind of dev, SAT or UAT. That filter should work based on the taxonomy value. This is my intention. Okay. So far I have created taxonomy management, taxonomy item. So next step is I need to just add a placeholder to the schema. Let me go back to the manage page again. As I said, schema is the place where we can just add our new fields or groups and just do your modification based on your business requirement. Let me go to the schema. Inside schema, I'll look for m.asset. Here I'm not going to put my taxonomy item inside the existing group. I'm going to create my new group. I'll say logical underscore unit, and I'll mark label as a logical unit. Let me save it. So far I have created one new group calling it as logical unit. Inside that I'm going to add one member. As I said earlier, we have a number of options to go with. Earlier I interacted with the single line property and just created one metadata value inside the asset detail page in a overview section. Now I am going to choose taxonomy item. So whatever item I have created, that I am going to associate with this um, logical group, and I'm going to just specify the cardinality. What would be the relation with that particular uh, taxonomy item? So I'm going to choose it as a one to many. Already logical unit as a associated definition I have chosen. Let me save it and apply the changes. Yes, so for what I did is I created taxonomy item. To put that taxonomy item into the page, I have created one user group that should be part of m.asset. Third step I'm going to do is pages, where I wanted to add this taxonomy into the search component. Let me go to the pages. From these pages, I'll look for assets. Yeah, so as you see, asset page has some defined, predefined layout where we can just deal with their existing component. My intention is to not to put any other separate component, but I wanted to edit the existing component. Okay, let me go back to the asset page and show you what I am just talking about. Yeah, as you see, asset page is all about to hold the assets, and left side section is all about the search component. Okay, so my intention is whatever taxonomy item I have created, that I wanted to put here, and I want that taxonomy item to be associated with the search component. Yeah, so currently I am in asset page layout. In the asset page layout, if you see in a main zone, there is one component called search component. I am going to update that search component. As you see, it has a group of sections. So I am going to deal with the facets, where I wanted to add one my facet saying like, so as you know, so far I have created taxonomy item, or and I'm going to deal with the taxonomy only at this moment. So I'm going to choose taxonomy item from the predefined list. And I'm also again going to just define what position would be, either it would be on a top horizontal or left vertical. I'm going good with the left vertical, and the taxonomy item that I have created earlier that I need to choose. So this is my taxonomy item previously I have created. I have chosen it and marked it as a taxonomy item. I have marked position as a left vertical, and I'm going to save it. First step is, so just so far what I did is I have created taxonomy item, then further added the taxonomy item into schema, and as a third step I have searched for the pages. From there I navigated to the asset page, and in the asset page layout I just edited the search component, and inside the properties of the search component I have went to the facets, and from there I have selected the logical unit as mm, a placeholder for the search component. Now as a first step, I'm going back to the manage page. I'm going to look for pages, and from the pages I'll search for asset detail. Yes, currently I'm in asset detail page. So let me go back to the asset and tell you the place where I'm going to add the taxonomy item. As you see, earlier I told you that so whatever configuration I did, that is for assets. Okay, to just make the association with the taxonomy item, I went to the asset page and just change the search component configuration and add the facet. And as a second step, what I'm going to do is when I click on the asset detail page, so I wanted to just add one more field here somewhere, so that user can just interact to the field and just make the association with the particular asset. Okay, I'm going to put one placeholder here somewhere, so that whenever user wants to just tag particular asset to the particular logical unit, so that just by interacting to that particular field, that asset can be tagged to a particular logical unit group. Let me go back to the asset page. Sorry, go back to the manage page, from where I just want to make some configuration for asset detail page. Let me look for pages, asset details. Yeah, this is the asset detail page where we can define asset detail layout. So now just I'm not going to edit the existing atom which are readily available for the asset details. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one component basically. I'm I'll look for entity details component. I'll say mark it as visible. So here to achieve that, I have added one entity detail component where going to change the particular entity component in such a way that the logical unit will get displayed on the asset detail page. So as you see, what are the members available for the assets family, those members will get listed here. Earlier you see, like for asset detail page, here we have a lot many sections: overview, general, options, DRM, blah blah things, right? So along with these options, whatever taxonomy item I have created, that is also getting displayed here. Okay, let me just go ahead. So my intention is to just add only logical unit to this asset detail component, and just I want I just let other users to just interact with this logical unit field and just mark the particular asset into the particular value. So let me save it. Let me close this window and go back to the page. Yeah. So if you want to see your particular changes, there is one option call it as feed page. If you can click and look for which page you want to see the particular option. So I'll go with my page. I would say go with this. If I click, as you see that logical unit is readily available to make the selection. I'll go for a dev and save it. Yeah. So let me navigate to the asset page and see my changes. Go to the assets. I'll go to the assets and change the logic and unit. I'll mark this asset as a UAT. Again, I'll go back to the asset pages and just tag few more asset to other logical units. Again, I'll go back and we'll do this configuration for one more asset. I'll do it for asset. I'm done with the changes. Let me go back to the asset pages and see the searching functionality, how it works. Sometimes sometimes the updates will take some time. As I mentioned earlier, whatever things we are doing inside the content hub, those will be treated as background processes, and the background process will take some time, and whatever actions we are performing, for example updating assets, deleting assets or downloading assets, those will be added into the queue, and based on the preference how those assets got added, based on that all the background process will get executed. So let me refresh it and see what all the logical units are getting mapped properly or not. As you see earlier, I have tagged one asset for a dev, one asset for UAT, and one asset for SAT. Okay, so whatever assets I have tagged so far, right, those are also reacting based on our searching. If I just choose a particular um, taxonomy item value, then those whatever assets we are tagged with the particular taxonomy value, those will get listed here. If I remove it, all the asset will be available, and whenever you want to just interact to the particular asset and you just mark that asset to the particular logical unit, then you can do it like this. Okay, so this is all about when we interact to the Sitecore Content Hub UI. So what I did so far is I have just created some settings inside the schema. Then further I have edited the page layouts and I have achieved this logical unit implementation. Basically, when you deal with the REST API scenario, right, how it will work. So whenever you want to just page the assets which are belongs to the particular logical unit, for example dev, so what you need to do is you need to mention the metadata logical unit value is equal to dev and just specify it into the API URL. Then automatically whatever assets which are tagged into the dev, right, those will get filtered out and those will listed as part of the API response. This is how it will work. Okay, this is all about the taxonomy. So far, what we learned is how to create a taxonomy and what is the schema, how to update the schema, then further how to apply that schema to the pages. So In this scenario, I have just visited two pages. One is asset page, other is asset detail page, where all the configuration done as required. And then further, we see the result of this logical implementation. So yeah, so this is all about the one of the use case, that is logical unit implementation. Let me navigate back to the manage page and look for settings. Sorry. Yeah, so in this use case, just my intention is to just add some restriction to the search result. As you know, like when you deal with any out of the box capability of the search, right? So unnecessary redundant information will get captured as part of API response. So my intention is to add some restriction so that we can just improve the performance of that API. So now my use case is talk about, I wanted to add some limitation on the renditions. I wanted to get the original rendition to be part of that API response, and I want to just page only specific properties as part of the API response. So how to do this? Go to setting and let me search for search configuration. So here you see we have a search configuration section where we can add our own setting. Okay, so this is a custom setting that I'm going to do, and the motto behind this use case is just think about customization. If you are coming across any particular scenario where you want to add some your own configuration so that you can limit on the API response, right? So let me go to this section and click on setting, and I'll say like demo search configuration. I'll look for search configuration section, and finally I'll save this. Let it refresh and load the configuration section, whatever we just created. Let me go to search some configuration section. As you see, whatever section I have just created, that is also getting listed. Now here you see one window is readily available to put some configuration. So I am this is a tree view of this window where we can put our own custom code. So I am going with the text so that I can mm, easily just copy paste the text from my notepad. I have configured this search text and going to put it like this. Let me save this configuration. Let me change the view of this. Yeah, yes. As you see, whatever configuration I have put here, that I have basically copied from the Sitecore Content Hub official websites, where they have added some dummy set of search configuration. So, and based on my requirements, so my intention is to just limit to the property. As you see, properties to be loaded. I wanted to load only two properties, and along with this, I wanted to add limitation to the renditions as well. So I want to get downloaded original renditions. So that is the reason I'm going to put as a download original. Okay. So this is all about the Sitecore configuration, where you can save this. Looks like something went wrong. This is maybe a syntax error that I have made somewhere. Let me delete my previous configuration and see. Oh, something is wrong. Let me refresh it and check it. Let me search for search configuration section. Go to demo search config. It got saved. Let me, yes, it got saved properly. Okay, so whenever our Sitecore is just look for any search configurations, right? So this section will get searched out easily, and that whatever configuration we have added, those will picked and give the priority for these sections. And based on this configuration, whatever API response we will receive henceforth, right? Those would be very limited based on this structure, basically. Yeah, this is all about the Sitecore configurations section where we can add our own configuration and just meet our business requirements. Now I'm going to talk about pages, how to create the page in a Sitecore Content Hub. Right, as I said earlier, whatever pages and whatever options we have here, those will be ultimately treated as a pages only. We see the asset page and their layout as well. Okay, let me go back to the asset page and show you the layout where we did a configuration for a search component. So I did a configuration for an existing component to just add the facet. And let me look for assets. As you see, what are components out of the box component we have added here, those are getting listed on the asset page. Okay, so this is the search component where we did the modification earlier. Yeah, so I interacted with the facets and added one logical unit as a taxonomy item. So now in the same way, I am going to create one page. So let me go to the manage page and search for pages. Here I'm going to just explain one simple scenario, how to create the page and change the background of the particular page, and so that that page would be easily accessible to the end user. Let me create test page. Yeah, so there are several options that can be chosen to create the particular page. So I'm going to choose one blank page. If you want to just choose any other pages, if the that particular page type is meeting your requirement, then just go ahead and choose that particular page. So in my case, I'm going to choose blank page. And what would be the master layout? Okay, so here we have so many options that can be leverage. So at this moment, I'm going with basic one. Let me create the page with the basic layout. As you see, there are some predefined sections where you can add your own uh, components. Either it can be existing component or your newly created component. So as you if you remember, I have created new component, that is entity details component for our logical unit taxonomy scenario. So in the same way, you can create your own components, and wherever you want in the defined placeholders, you can just go ahead and click on the um, particular plus mark and then add your own component there, like this. If you want to just add any particular out of the box component, here just click on this. It will help you to just choose the particular component. If you want to go with entity details components, entity comments, contained entity details, history, image, indicator, list, and all. So these are the readily available options to choose further. Okay, so I'm going with the simple use case. That is, I'm going to change the background image of it. Let me go and select any particular page background. Yes, I have chosen background image, which is readily available in the Sitecore Content Hub. Now, if you want to just change the any CSS and just make the alignment properly, or just add some padding and all, so you can write your CSS script, same like our HTML pages, where we just add some script tags, CSS tags, and along with some classes and some attributes like that, right? So now I'm done with the backgrounds image. So I'm at this moment, I'm not going to care about the CSS, but my ultimate goal is to just make this page up and running. Yes, l- let me click my on a fee page and see how it looks like. Yeah, this is the test page just now I have created. And as you see on our top, navigation bar is readily available for us. This is the default setting which is readily available when we choose the existing pages. Okay, each existing page would have this master layout where they have defined the common components. Yeah, this is all about the pages. So far, what we did is I just interacted to the manage page. Sorry, from the manage page, I went with the pages options, and from there I have clicked on a plus icon. Beside this plus icon, there is one label saying page. So after clicking on this, it will allow you to just create your own page by specifying page type, master layout, and then further you can add it. Yeah. This is all about pages. Now just let me navigate back to the manage page, from where we will understand a couple of things. For example, if you want to see the stats of Content Hub, this is the place where Content Hub has added all the details about usage and storage. As you see, this is the presentation. It will give you the brief about what is your storage capacity and how much we have utilized for this instance, and whatever current activity we performed, what are the background jobs currently listed, which are in progress, and which are got completed. As I mentioned earlier, so background job is all about whatever actions we are performing inside the Content Hub, those will get queued, and those will be listed as processing jobs. Okay, it will give you the status of your completed jobs as well as in progress jobs. Whenever you are just editing any particular assets or uploading it to the Content Hub, it may be from Content Hub UI, or it may be from web REST API client. So those assets will get uploaded into the Content Hub, and behind the scene, so Sitecore will get tracked all these activity as background jobs. Yeah, this is all about my today's agenda. Please feel free to ask questions if you have.
Hey, hi Rajendra.
Hi.
Hi. So my first question is, what will be the best business suited criteria to adopt a Sitecore Content Hub over the Sitecore again XP? Because
Yes.
this is just only for creating and managing the assets, but ultimately we have to use these assets on any page.
Yes, correct. So to do this, your name is Abhinav, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Abhinav, so whatever we discussed so far, that is all about manage the assets. Okay, so when you talk about the consuming the assets, right? So Sitecore Connect accelerator is readily available in the Sitecore website. By just setting into the your XP, you can leverage the way how to communicate to the DAM basically. Okay, it's I would say like plug in plug out of kind of accelerator that you can use it. And once you are done with the configuration, whatever assets currently you are viewing into the content hub, those can be accessed to your XP. Okay, this is the one way. And second way, if you want to just pull some asset from the content hub, the other way is like just make the API connection to the content hub and retrieve the specific information and get it displayed wherever you want. Hope I answered your question, Abhinav.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that there are two Sitecore provides two connector, one for the DAM and another for the content CMP.
Hmm.
In the content hub, shall we create the language version of the assets? Like in the Sitecore, we are able to create the language
Yes,
version.
correct. N number of version you can create, Abhinav. Let me go back to
And
so
this is the replacement of the media library. Like in the
yes, it
Sitecore XP, we can enable, we can integrate the Brightcove and other media framework. And in a similar line, shall we integrate other media library in the DAM also?
yes. So actually, so I didn't touch that CMP part, content marketing part, and marketing resource management because this is totally different topics what we discussed today. Okay, so my intention was to just explain damn part properly, and then further we will jump for the same. As you know, like when you get the subscription of content hub, you may not get these modules by default. Okay, so when you ask for a particular module, then you have to pay extra money for the same. Okay, so now to deal with other just external parties, for example Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay, to just for a beautification of the assets. Okay, if you want to deal with the videos and just you want to edit the video in such a way that video should have the subtitles properly, and the auto tagging feature should come part of that editing, these kind of things, yes, it's doable. If you want to do some connection with the Salesforce also, yes, it's doable. Okay, so lot many connectors you can just you leverage and just do the integration with the content hub. In short, Abhinav.
Yeah, and in your scenario, what is the cost of this content hub? Because you have the two environment, one is the production and another is the non-production. What is the cost of just managing the images?
Abhinav, so actually I don't want to comment on that cost because that cost will vary client to client. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
means
don't want
just
to comment on
roughly
that.
means that totally depends upon on their tier, in which tier they fall. So, but just a roughly idea, what will be the cost?
So it will cost around more than 300K plus
Oh,
dollars.
okay.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, like this is not all about to replace the media library, but it has lot many features. Okay. So far we discussed about the basic scenarios, how we can deal with the content up, how to do the configuration, how to do the customization like this. Okay. When you talk about the commerce platform, right? So you will leverage most of the features of the content hub, and you can enjoy your journey.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, so I mean, no, so you was asking one question related to language, right? Here you
Yeah.
see, you can to create your own languages here. Okay, so earlier the EN-US was the default language. Now I have created one more, saying like Chinese.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, because if we use the connector and if we have the multilingual site, then we would require the images, I mean, all the digital assets in their language. So
Yes,
that's why I
correct.
asked.
Yes. Any other questions?
Rajendra, sorry, this is Vinayak here.
Hi, Vinayak.
I have just two questions. One is that why we should go with taxonomy and not the option list.
Yes, correct. So, yeah, so I didn't choose the option list when I, explained one use case because just so whatever you see logical units, right? So I wanted to add some security for particular, logical unit options. What does it means? I wanted to create a user groups and a user policy where the whatever assets are coming under the particular user policy groups, those assets can be viewed for the particular users. So my intention is to not to go with the option list. And as you know, like if you compare the option taxonomy with the option list, so option list won't have this security mechanism around it. Okay, so if you want to add some security things,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah, got it, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
quite good. And about second question about the versions, language versions which you have specified. So you have said the portal language. Is it like a language of the portal or a particular asset with Chinese language version that we can create?
Yeah, so again, I'll go back to the manage page. Here you see basically here same like our XP, right? How XP will allow us to just create the language version. So after clicking on the language version plus icon, you will be able to add the particular text to it, right? Here, as you see, translation is the service readily available. You can use this translation service and convert that particular language text to the preferred language version and just paste that content to any particular asset. This is how we need to do it.
Okay, so in that terms, maybe it's not like a Sitecore when we will be creating a different language version and put a text as per our need manually. But with this, maybe some extra module of translation that would be used to translate the content of
Yeah, this
that
is
particular
yeah.
image.
Yes, translation is the module readily available to just translate the content. This is the first thing. And
Mhm.
if you want to just, grab the asset details for a specific language, right? In that case, you need to specify it explicitly. For example, you are just making the request for a particular asset. You are just specifying the asset ID there in the API. Along with that, just specify the language so that you will get that language content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
One more question, Rajendra.
Yes, Abhinav, go ahead.
Yeah. So then, does the Content Hub provide the flexibility to add multiple rendition, like the it provides the original and the one was the medium kind of like nowadays the designs are very flexible. So we require the multiple dimension of image. So shall we create the multiple rendition like the small, medium, extra large kind of, because depending upon the container, we can use the correct particular rendition.
Yes, correct, Abhinav. It's doable. If you want to do this programmatically also, it's achievable. And if you want to just interact with the Content Hub UI and just add new more rendition, so here is the option. If you see like this, uh, hope Abhinav you are able to see my
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Yes, yes, like this. Okay, so there are predefined set of property that you need to fill in and create your own rendition.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Rajendra, Yogesh Kumar this side.
Yeah, yeah, Yogesh.
Yeah, so I basically, like in the Sitecore content hub, we can update media, okay, whatever the images or document, and we can do all these things, okay. Like suppose if we compare our normal tradition Sitecore XP, we can also do each and everything, and we can consume it on the front end side. So I just want to know for the front end side, how we can consume all these things, whatever we are doing, because you have created one page and you can directly publish that page from the the Sitecore content hub itself, and that page will be visible, okay, over the over the browser. So like if suppose if we are going for the consume that all these assets or content, how we can do that?
Yeah, so Vinayak, so whatever I have explained, right? So that would be kind of content authoring part I did here. Okay,
Correct,
so
correct,
now whatever question you ask, that is for how I can consume this system. Okay,
correct, correct.
outside, right? So yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, Sitecore Connect is the connector we usually use to just make a connection with the Sitecore XP. Okay, first thing. Second thing is there is other way to deal with the content hub. If you want to just access all the resources which are present inside the content hub, those can be accessed via API. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So now again, I'll give you one example. If you want to just add this asset as a public link, earlier I explained you right how to make it user direct link. Okay,
correct,
go
correct,
here.
correct.
Yeah, so in that way also you can do it. But if you don't want to just let the others misuse it, then better I would say like just make the connection with the content hub using the Sitecore connector and get that configuration done. So meaning, so whatever information is getting updated here, those that in particular information would be readily available for your Sitecore XP instance to grab it.
Yeah, Rajendra, but the thing is that
Uh,
like if we use the Sitecore connector,
mm.
then the client cost will be increased because they need to purchase the Sitecore XP, then they need to purchase the Sitecore content hub, and then only they can develop their websites.
Yeah, yeah, I'll answer this part. Okay, so I thought like, so you are leveraging your existing platform, that is Sitecore XP platform. So in one
Correct.
of the project, what we did is, so that platform is built using the .NET, not .NET, Java language stack. Okay, so their intention is to, so we basically we implement this, okay, for one of the client. Okay, so Content Hub is the dam for them, and they want how we just integrated to their legacy platform is, so they always talk to Content Hub via API only. Okay, so whatever user friends currently you are seeing, all the things can be shared via API. What it means, here you see earlier we talked about the rendition. Okay, so whatever renditions are available here, right, those can be accessed via API as well. Okay, whatever metadata properties are here inside this overview section, right, those can be accessed via API. Okay, so and see, whenever you are just making, so this is the basically asset ID. Okay, so whenever you make the connection via the API or Postman, okay, I could have helped you out to understand this, but somehow the token is not accessible from the system. I could have helped you out. Okay, so same like this. Okay, I'll tell you. So earlier I just look for status. So this is the object you will get. For example, if you want to access any particular functionality, for example, you wanted to check the storage, you wanted to make a search, you wanted to just grab the what are the process currently there, and those are in pending state, everything can be accessed via this API, via this URL. In the same way, whatever asset you are going to embed somewhere in the legacy platform, so there itself you will get some external URLs for the particular asset. Okay, hope I understood your question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so in short, Vinayak, everything can be accessed via API. No need to just go ahead with your Sitecore XP option. Okay, this can be leveraged in your legacy platform as well.
Okay, so that API is predefined, or we need to use the Sitecore JSS for that to consume all these information.
Yeah, sure. So actually, there are two ways to do it again. Okay, so if you're dealing with migration, data migration activity, in that case, so Sitecore has just provided one REST API web client to just interact with. What does it mean? You need to write your own utility, and in that utility, what are the references readily available? Okay, those can be added and just use their methods and do the integration part. Okay, this is for a migration. Okay, and when you just want to just utilize their own set of APIs, for example, here you see status is the one API. Okay, we can just check whether we are making connection with the content properly. Other one is get API token. So before invoking any particular information, you must have to get it authenticated by passing your information. Okay, and third would be like if you want to get asset details, then there would be API slash entities and just specify the asset ID. Then that API will just bring the information which are related to that particular asset. Okay, so Vinayak, if you want to get more details, then I have just blogged all this information. So you can visit my blog, Sitecore Knowledge Hub Blogspot, where all the details has been captured. So you asked me what are the APIs and all. So I have added all the API details in a granular level. See, if you want to just get the API, then just deal with this URL and what are the mandatory parameters you need to pass. Everything I have added here.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, one more quick question. So, can we develop the standalone website only the Sitecore Content Hub without using Sitecore XP?
Yes, we can. We
Okay.
can. So it's see, DAM is all about to store the assets. Okay. How
No,
we
no,
are,
no.
yeah,
Rajendra, I'm
yeah,
not asking about the dam. Dam
yeah.
is the part of the CMS, simple part of the dam, because we have the all other things like the template or other things. So I'm just asking, can we develop a standalone website with the help of the Sitecore Content Hub as we are developing the website with the help of the Sitecore XP?
No, yes, we can do it without Sitecore XP, as I explained earlier, right? So, client asked us to integrate the Content Hub with their legacy platform that has been built using Java. Okay, we use that. How we did it? Just we interacted via API to the Content Hub.
Okay.
Any further questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. So I would like to just share